welcome to my channel. Oh my gosh, I have so much to say about the finale of Succession, but I don't want to make this video super long. I have my notes here, but I'm sure I will forget to mention some things, so keep an eye on the comment section because if I forget anything, then I'll just put it below. But let's get started. I knew it wouldn't be Kendall because I knew a lot of people wanted to be Kendall. I don't think the writers would reward someone that let someone else to die. I mean, a lot of people are saying he didn't kill the waiter, he just didn't save him. I was like, well, that's letting someone out to die. So I don't think the writers wanted to reward that behavior. And also, I always said that the three kids are not stable enough. To be a CEO, you need experience and maturity. And Kendall had the experience and maturity, but he wasn't stable enough. You know, up here, Roman, he had the experience, but he didn't have the maturity. And then Shiv didn't have either. Also, all three kids, none of them care about money. They're going to be rich anyway after the sell. They don't care about family, I don't think. They cared about power. So let's try to figure out how this whole thing started because it felt like it was a snowball effect. And I think it started with Greg. When Greg, so smart, you know, I still up to the last minute thought it was going to be Greg, but I was talking to someone that made it a good point saying it won't be Greg. Because if the writers make Greg be the CEO, it would just be a slap on the viewers' faces. You know, it would just be so disrespecting to our intelligence to pick Greg, who has no experience, who in real life would never be a CEO, not as of right now. Because Greg had some power moves throughout the whole show. Remember making copies of all the paperwork that Tom asked him to, you know, burn it? Even on the fire pit, he still kept some papers. He did that interview with the lady that was going to do an tell-all book. So Greg is a lot smarter than most of us give him credit. Like that scene when Lucas tells Tom that it's going to be him and said, let's do shots. Tom leaves and tells Greg like to keep an eye on them. I totally called it because as soon as Madison gets up and he talks to Oscar in like foreign language, he's like, ruh, ruh, ruh. And I was like, he probably said something to Oscar about Tom. And when Greg is there doing shots with them at the bar, he pulls up his phone. What a genius move, and starts to Google Translate what they're saying. And then he hears that, you know, Lucas is telling Oscar that it's not going to be Shiv. And I think that was, you know, the snowball started because Greg calls Ken and tells Ken, hey, Madison, you know, it's not going to pick Shiv. He's talking to someone else. And then Kendall tells Shiv and she's like, bullshit. And he's like, call him right now. And then she calls him. He doesn't pick up. She comes back all pissed. And then she's like, so what are we going to do? Basically, she's like, can I be back with you guys? I want to be back in the group. And I was like, you such a flip-flopper. But it's Shiv. We already know that she does whatever is best for her. And then it's so funny because after Shiv and Roman tell Kendall that they're going to kill him, they're like, oh, we thought about killing you, but you're going to be the next king. And it was such a joyful moment to see the three kids in the kitchen making that meal fit for a king. Like that blender, whatever shake that they made. And it was also so nice to see Kendall smiling because we don't see him smile at all or often. It was such a boyish and sincere smile. You know, he almost looked like that 7-year-old boy that he mentions later in the episode. And then, you know, the siblings are just having fun. But I thought up to that point, I was like, they're going to poison Kendall. They're going to put something in that, you know, shake that he's allergic to. Something's going to happen because, you know, the fact that Shiv at the end said, I love you, but I cannot fucking stomach you. So for her to say that at the end and be all, you know, friendly at the, you know, at the kitchen, I was like, no, I don't like, I wasn't trusting them. When I mentioned that they shouldn't reward Kendall's, behavior about letting the waiter die, I knew he would get called out at some point before the finale about that. And it was in that moment when the three of them are in the conference room. It was so hard to watch. It was heartbreaking. But so they called him out, and then Kendall says, which one? And I was like, which one? Did he kill someone else? Do you guys remember that? Because I'm trying to rewind past seasons. I don't remember Kendall killing anyone else. Let me know in the comments down below. And poor Kendall, oh my gosh, he better be on suicide watch, because I don't know, when he was just staring, I didn't think he was going to jump. They wouldn't do that. I don't think the creators, of the show would do that, kill him off. That would be it would feel cheap. But the fact that he had Logan's, his dad's bodyguard with him, that shot, he's just sitting there and the bodyguard is right there. That bodyguard better be with him for the rest of his life. Might as well, because I worry about Kendall. But I hope, a lot of people say that, oh, he's gonna end up killing himself. I don't think so. I think Kendall, he's gonna use that anger, because he has the money, he has the name, he can start his own company, So I think he's gonna use that anger that he's feeling right now as motivation. We'll see. I'm saying we'll see, we have another season. Oh, Roman, I think, got the best end of the stick out of all three, because once again, Kendall is about to, go jump off and be with the fishes at the bottom of the ocean. And then Shiv, it's in an unhappy marriage, relationship situation, whatever she's in. And then Roman, when he's at the end drinking that martini at the bar, he slightly smiles, almost like he's free. He can, go back to be his playboy self again. And in the conference room, after they had the powwow / insane fight, Shiv leaves, and Roman, it's such a Roman move too, to sit, cross-legged on top. He doesn't even sit on the chair. He sits on the table. And he's telling Ken's so upset. He's like, it's bullshit, man. It's all bullshit. He's like, it's almost like a sense of relief. He's like, it's nothing. This means nothing. It's all bullshit. The company, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're still rich. They have their name, all like this. It doesn't matter. Kieran Culkin, give him his Emmy. Give it to him already. Because I can't remember if he gets nominated in the supporting category or the leading actor category. Because if not, he should be in the leading category for the next Emmys. And I'm also, I also root for my boy Jeremy Strong, because he's always amazing. He's so consistent in every season. But I think Kieran Culkin stole the show in this season. Last thing about Roman, that when he said to Kendall, saying that the only bloodline or something is Shiv, that Kendall's kids are not Roy's kids, the same bloodline. I was so confused, because I was like, wait, are Kendall's kids adopted? First I thought he was mentioning because Rava is a different ethnicity, so maybe he was talking about oh, she's not white. But then I was like, oh no, he's talking about the kids and the bloodline. So the kids are adopted. And then once again, I'm trying to rewind all seasons. I remember something about Rava cheating on Kendall, and the paternity of the kids is questionable. So they might not even be his kids. So I think that's what Roman was referring to, which is so low. Such a low blow. He deserved it, he deserved a punch in the face right there. Now let's talk about our girl Shiv, who, so ironic that she went from thinking that she'll be the CEO to just being the wife of a CEO. But I think that, that was her move. I think it was intentional. I think she figured out that it was better to be the wife of the CEO who she can control than to be just the sister of the CEO. I also wonder if this would have happened if she wasn't pregnant. Maybe if she wasn't pregnant, she would have stuck by Ken and give him her vote, because as of right now, all she has is her baby. So maybe like it was intentional that she chose to be a mother and a wife, but she did not look happy in that car. We'll talk about that car scene in a moment when I talk about Tom. But Shiv, I think Shiv with her brothers, she was like, if I can't have it, none of you can. I know I say this a lot, but Shiv does what's best for Shiv. She has no loyalty whatsoever. Remember when she used to work in politics and she was campaigning for her dad's enemy, and she only changed that when her dad offered her the succession. So that car scene when they're leaving the building and Tom, it's crowned the new CEO, it was so, just by not even having any words, I think she only said like congratulations and he says thank you. I mean, both actors, I know I keep saying like I want to spin off of the two of them. You could feel the power shift right there and then. It like just by Tom putting his hand down, almost like kiss the ring. This is the hand that feeds you now. You under my thumb. And she like puts her hand, like barely touches his. You could tell how unhappy she is, because Shiv always wanted the power and to be in control. And now that she lost that power to Tom, that must have been just a dagger, because you see the look of defeat in her face. So we know that, Madison picked Tom to be his CEO. And I think there are two things that made him, make this decision. One, I think that cartoon where he sees in the magazine, it's Shiv playing him like a puppet. I don't think he liked that, because he likes to be surrounded by yes people and be the one in control. And I think he saw in Shiv someone that would control him. And when she told him, they're sitting face to face on the couch, and she tells Madison that Tom would suck the biggest dick in the room, I think Madison just like, that's what I need. I need someone that would suck my dick, that would do anything for me, that will be my yes person, that will be my puppet. So Shiv kind of like screwed herself there when she said that. And then there was a third moment actually when Tom and Madison are talking, and then I don't know if Madison was trolling Tom, but he said that he wants to sleep with Shiv, and then in any other circumstances, Shiv would also fuck him. And then Tom just sits there like blank face. So I'm wondering, because I always got the feeling that, Madison was kind of coming off on Shiv. I think it was like, oh, they're going to hook up at some point. But I don't know if he said that for real or he was trolling Tom to see Tom's reaction. So when he said, oh, I want to fuck your baby's mama, and you just sit there and, you just sat there and like, that means you do anything for me. Madison was like, yeah, Tom is my guy. Now you're wondering why Tom kept Greg after Greg snitched on him. They had a great scene in the bathroom where Greg finally got a slap in after all the abuse he suffered. I think three things. I think he kept Greg. One, because he needs a punching bag. Two, because Tom would have done the same thing if he was in Greg's shoe. And three, I think Tom sees Greg as his friend or his only friend. Actually four, because I think Tom knows that he's going to be Madison's punching bag, so he needs someone to, put out that anger, and that's going to be on Greg. Speaking of Tom, as I'm like rewinding past seasons, remember that like infamous scene where they're in the mega yacht and Tom eats Logan's chicken, and Logan is just like stupefied. He's just like looking like, what did you do? He doesn't say anything, just a look on his face. But that scene where Tom eats his chicken, I don't know, it's just like foreshadowed the whole finale for me now. I can't, now I'm putting like 2 and 2 together. And let's not forget Connor. Connor. He shows the other 3 kids that virtual dinner that they're having with Logan. It's Jerry, Carl, Frank, Carrie's there, and Connor. And they see a soft side of their dad, and they start crying, and almost like, it feels like they never seen that side of Logan. And for Connor to be there was so sweet, because we always thought that Connor was the least, lovable kid. That Logan didn't care for him. Only the 3 kids, they're going to succeed him. But I think like Logan saw Connor as the oldest boy and had a connection with him. And we saw that by him being so comfortable around Connor, the way that he wasn't with the other kids. And remember the karaoke night when Logan tells the kids, I love you, but you're not serious people. Overall, I loved the season. I think it was one of the best seasons out of all of them. My one complaint is that there won't be a season 5. That makes me so upset. And I know I mentioned that I want to see a spin-off, maybe with Greg and Tom, or Tom and Shiv. But now I'm thinking, how about a prequel? Like a prequel, with Logan when he started the company, or with Logan and the 3 little kids, and how was their dynamics. I'm like, I would totally watch a prequel about Logan's life. And now my head's spinning thinking about who would I cast as a young Logan. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any ideas. Because, they did that with Game of Thrones. Did they do House of Dragons? That's a prequel. Why not Succession? So these were my thoughts on the finale. Let me know, what did you think? Was Tom the person that you thought would take over? And if not, who would be your choice? And would you like to see a prequel? Sound off down below. And if you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the little bell notification button so you don't miss any future videos. And I'll see you next time.